So the 49ers started OTAs this week, and they're already dealing with some injury problems. And the biggest thing here, the biggest issue, is the fact that Ricky Pearsall is injured once again. And Kyle Shanahan had a press conference after one of these practices. And here's what he said. Ricky's here. Ricky's been awesome, but Ricky has a tweaked hamstring. So I'll be surprised if he does anything in OTAs. He then gets asked, will he be back for minicamp? He responds, he could be, but by the time you get to minicamp, there's just 2 days left in school. We probably won't just throw him out there, but he should be healthy by then. But it sounds like the 49ers will not see Ricky Pearsall until training camp at the earliest. And that's just very unfortunate for a guy who has consistently dealt with injuries since he got drafted by the 49ers. Of course, when he missed time, when he was shot, that is nothing under his control and has nothing to do with the rest of these injuries. But just looking at his history since being drafted to San Francisco, his shoulder injury during the 49ers offseason program last year. He then misses the first few days of training camp last year because of another hamstring injury, which forced him to start on the PUP list. And then after that hamstring injury last camp, he then re-aggravates the shoulder injury that had bothered him in OTAs, forcing him to miss a few weeks. And then after that is when he, tragically gets shot and misses the first 6 games. And it's pretty wild that he was able to return after only missing 6 games. But right now for this hamstring injury, we have no idea how long he's going to be out. It could be that he starts training camp, he's totally fine, and he never has another issue during camp and during the season with this hamstring injury. At the same time, though, when you consistently see this theme of injuries, hamstring injury last year, hamstring injury this year, when you start to see these things consistently pop up, it does make you concerned. Is this going to be something where training camp comes around and he starts on the PUP list again? Is it something where with Christian McCaffrey last year where Shanahan makes it sound like he's going to be okay early in the year and then things just went south? And a lot of times coaches will give you a little bit of the bad news but not tell you everything, and it's almost like they're trying to, not completely rule out a possibility of the guy coming back, so they sort of start with just as little information as possible. And so that's why with this injury, it's hard to know. Is it going to be something that holds him out long-term and is something that nags him in training camp? Maybe. Maybe not. We don't really know. But you don't love to see consistent injuries pop up for a certain player, especially for the 49ers who have lost Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, likely going to miss a good portion, at least the early portion of the season. And then, you have a few other options. Obviously, Juwan Jennings should, really have a ton of targets coming his way, especially if Ricky were to miss some time. But it's just not a great spot for the Niners who, just with the